Bobby Kerr here. You're listening to a Down to Business podcast. Join me live every Sunday morning from 9 to 11. Now, since appearing on the BBC Two show, Dragon's Den, yes, we have one here in Ireland as well, with her product Magnamol, her life has changed in so many ways. She's written a book, The Mother of Invention, detailing her life over the past number of years and how she took her idea from a commercial reality into global success. How she prepared for Dragon's Den, her breakdown after disillusion and disappointment, and an eating disorder, bulimia nervosa, and how she reinvented herself in the future. Sharon Wright, you're very welcome to Down to Business.
Thank you very much, Bobby.
Now, I got an awful lot into that first paragraph, and we met before, Sharon, here in Dublin, when you were over here speaking to a group of women in the Shelbourne Hotel last year.
Yep.
And I took issue with your statement on Dragon's Den because that wasn't the Dragon's Den that I came from, the one you outlined.
Yes. It was an experience that happened with one particular dragon. That's not a reflection on Dragon's Den or the BBC or the programme for the future. And if I had my time again, I would do it all again. It was just unfortunate that I picked the wrong dragon, and thankfully he's no longer on that show anymore. You
might just explain what happened around your experience on Dragon's Den in the UK.
It was just, obviously I'd done my own due diligence and my research before I went on the show because I'd done quite well with my product. I'd already won British Inventor of the Year and taken it to America and the UK. So when I went onto the show, I'd done my own due diligence and research, and I specifically chose Duncan and James because of a product they were apparently already exhibiting around the world, which was a product called Chopbox and Ratstrap. Unfortunately, that wasn't true. They weren't distributing into all the countries around the world. The money eventually turned into a loan, even though I'd passed all the due diligence. The loan money didn't come, so I ended up being in a situation where I lost my supply chain for my main manufacturer, and lots more complications. Some of the money did come eventually at the point where I nearly lost my business. And then there was lots of things that went wrong. The straw that broke the camel's back was that James, in particular, not Duncan, he had no decisions with this at all. But he asked me for a service fee of £3,000 per month. And as I wasn't taking anything other than their expertise and their infrastructure and support, which I didn't really benefit from, I found that was not only did I not get the money, but then it turned into a loan, but they were also trying to make profit from me, or James was trying to make profit.
Did you not take legal advice?
I did, but it was after I'd signed the contract, so it was quite messy at the time. And I think the information, obviously, that I didn't want to be put into my book. James didn't want me to print the book. So there was a lot of conflict, which is all listed in the book. I mean, you've read the book, and it was a tough time, but I don't have any regrets with it.
All right, well, let's move on from that, because you certainly have reinvented yourself. You're now an author, a writer of books, a public speaker of note. So is that really your career now, Sharon, or are you still... You're involved still in the Magnamol, but only on a limited basis?
No, I've completely sold now with Magnamol to a company in Canada, and they just do their own thing with it. I think once you lose your passion for anything, it's time to move on. And after being 3 to 4 years with that company and that product, and after everything that happened, I did lose my passion. It was only fair on the product, the company, and myself to put my channel, my energy and my passion into something new. So the after dinner speaking and the writing of the books was something that came from the misfortune that happened. But I just think that with any journey or with any business, it is about the journey. It's not about the end result. And I learned many, many lessons, and I've done many, many things. And, I'm very, very proud of the book, more so than Magnamol, in fact.
So you've turned a negative into a positive here is what really the message. And
Definitely.
You've now found something that you love doing, you enjoy doing, and that you really get satisfaction out of.
Yes, definitely. It's the fact that it inspires and motivates other people. People at universities and colleges have bought my book and said it's made a difference to their outlook and, their positiveness. People in business, people with eating disorders. It covers such a wide range. And I've written the book wearing my heart on my sleeve and being completely honest about the journey that you go on. It's a reality of what happens in business, and it's a message of you don't know what's around that corner, but you have to turn every negative into a positive, and you will keep going, and you will be successful in the end.
So tell us about writing a book for those of us who haven't done it. What should one do if I wanted to write a book tomorrow, which I don't? How would I go about it?
It's very simple. simple. It's like business. It's just having a strategy and planning the preparation. I decided I was going to write a book. I didn't know how long it would take me, but it eventually took me about 5 weeks to write the book from start to finish.
5 weeks? Wow.
What I did was I literally went off to Egypt and said I'll be back when I've finished writing the book. And it was straight after just having the breakdown. So I was in a state of mind where all the emotions were all over the place. And I broke my book up to start, middle and end. And then I broke it up into different sections that had happened throughout the business to take me from the start to the end. And then each chapter, I literally planned and prepared what I was going to write about in that chapter and put it into numerical order, and just made sure that when I was writing, I covered all aspects that I wanted to cover. And it was very cathartic, and surprised myself that I could actually write a book. And like I say, I'm more proud of the book than I am of Magnamol.
So this is eating the elephant, really. Breaking it down, taking it chunk by chunk, and just getting through it in a logical way. Yes.
It's like being in business. You know, if you plan and prepare something, I believe that, you know, my 4 key ingredients are self-belief, planning and preparation, dedication, and then the extra sprinkle of self-belief. And it's the same whatever you do in life. If you plan and prepare, you know where you're going and you have a strategy, you will succeed.
Now, you've written more than one book. You've written Mother of Invention and Just One More Day. Have you a third book?
I've just about finished the up-to-date book, which is Mother of Invention Part 2. Because of the success and how much of an impact it's had on people's lives, people are saying, love the book, couldn't put it down. When's the follow-up book? So I've just about completed that book, and that will be ready in about 2-3 months' time.
And that I haven't read that. I read the earlier version. So what can we expect in that?
I think now that I've got the confidence, it's like anything. Once you have the self-belief and the confidence that people are enjoying something that you've done, I read the book back and I think, I can't believe I wrote it. So I think it's just, I wanted to follow that on with the journey and just go more into depth, the different aspects and what's happened, obviously, since selling the company and what I do now.
And finally, Sharon, do you think that we learn more from failure and setbacks than we do from success?
Absolutely. Like I say, people say to me, do you regret selling Magnamol? Do you regret choosing that dragon? And I said, do you regret going on Dragon's Den? I said, no, I don't regret any decision that I've made, anything that's happened to me, negative or positive, because it's about the experience of learning. And if I hadn't have gone through all of what I did, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I wouldn't believe in myself like I do now. And I think, if anything, it's just built my character as a person.
Okay, and you're in Dublin, just to tell us, on March 20th to open Dublin's first property meet. What are you going to be telling people there?
I'm just, because obviously people in business, quite a lot of people in business, it's just working with like-minded people, and it's just to inspire and motivate people. So I think the fact that I pulled in the crowds to the Books property meet, what I did last year, they've asked me to come along to do the Dublin property meet. So I'm looking forward to it. They can get a free copy of my book, signed copy of my book. I think it's £20 a ticket, and it's at the Red Cow Moran Hotel and starts at 7:30.
Well, listen, when you're over, come over and say hello to us, and we look forward to welcoming you again to Dublin, Sharon.
I definitely will, Bobby. Thank you very much for having me today.
Sharon Wright there, entrepreneur, author, public speaker. Bobby Kerr here. That was a Down to Business podcast. Join me every Sunday morning from 9 to 11.